Hi, it's Attorney Jay Farrow here talking to you today about what to look for when you're looking for an attorney. And what's the process like? I mean, something's happened in your life, whether that been a car accident or a breach of contract or someone defrauded you out of some money. No matter what it is, I mean, you decide that, okay, I'm going to need a lawyer here. I don't know one, how do I go about it? And I think nowadays, most people, it's fair to say, go on Google and, type in some terms that they think will match something that would be related to their case. And that's a great place to start because you're going to get a ton of attorneys. And in most cases, those attorneys are paying Google to be at the top and give you their ad. And, whatever it is and however you find the lawyer's website that you go to, you read about the lawyer and you read about their accolades and you read about the cases that they've been involved with. And yes, it's all very, very helpful. But one thing that I think that people forget about is that, lawyers are people too. I mean, we have different backgrounds, and what you see on paper isn't necessarily what you get, because we're in the business of using words to convince others of our position, and we are very effective of that on our web pages, and ours as well. I mean, we did our best to draft the content of the website in such a way that it would be relatable and not a bunch of legal jargon, because I think that one of the things that a lawyer has the most difficult time with is translating the law into something that's understandable by someone that doesn't do this every single day. And honestly, sometimes we forget that. And I find myself, talking about, specific terms and statute numbers, and the client could care less, really. They just want to know, are we going to, do we have a case or don't we have a case? So pay attention, yes, on the website and shop around, get a few consultations. Most of the consultations, if they're worth their salt, should be free or at low cost. So that way the lawyer and you can get a gist of, number one, does the lawyer get your case? And do you feel comfortable that this person is the horse that you want to pick as you go after your case? It's not an easy decision. And going to more than one lawyer's office is got to be challenging as well. We are not all the same. The way that we approach the case is not the same. What we may find in your case is not the same. And I think that people don't understand that. You might come into my law firm and I read your case one way, and another person says, well, I don't read it that expansively, or I found some more that we could possibly add. Because when something happens to you, whether it is that you bought something online and you didn't get it, there might be a breach of contract in there. There might be some fraud in there. I mean, if you got to dig into the facts and into the narrative from the client to really understand what's going on. So make sure when you're looking for the lawyer and what to look for in the lawyer is how do they approach the case? Are they being expansive? Are they looking to maximize whatever recovery that you are entitled to under the law? What is their goal in the case? People are like, whoa, what do we mean? What is the goal? The goal is to win. But when? And what does a win look like? And maybe these are some of the questions that you have to ask yourself before you walk into a lawyer's office. But you should ask the lawyer, what does a win look like to you? Is it in 6 months? Is it in 3 years or 4 years of litigation? Because some lawyers will take the case and say, this is going to put my kids through college. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. So finding out from the lawyer's perspective, what is it going to take and what is your strategy to get this to a resolution table sooner rather than later? Because there's tools for that as well. Because my experience over the last 17 plus years is that clients are frustrated with the process. Once they select their lawyer and it gets started, then the months start to tick by And then all of a sudden you're in this massive litigation. And some instances, like with lawyers that bill by the hour as opposed to flat rate, you might get very surprised one month with the bill. So getting a gist of what does a lawyer think about as far as your case is concerned to get you from point A to point B in the straightest line possible. Or let's forget about lines. What is their plan to color outside those lines to get you to a result with urgency? Because it's not talked about so much in initial consultations, and I think it should be. What does this look like time-wise? How long is this going to take for us to get down the tracks? Now, obviously, we're not genies and we don't have crystal balls, but what is the lawyer's strategy for getting it resolved sooner rather than later? Because there's a bunch of tools out there for lawyers to use nowadays to use what's called alternative dispute resolution processes, mediation, perhaps an arbitration, and these things can get your case resolved sooner rather than later. But most importantly, you have to feel like your lawyer gets you. You have to feel like that lawyer is going to be by your side in the trenches with you as you march towards the goal that you all have. Because if you don't get one another and you don't feel like this lawyer is going to support you, then trust your intuition. There's no prosthetic for that. We all have it. So thanks for watching. Please watch some of our other videos and content, and goodbye for now.